Hey everyone, it's Types, and today I'm looking at Paldea Evolved again, but this time I'm going to be looking at the viability of these cards in GLC format. So GLC, of course, is a format that is single prize, singleton, no rule box, so only one of each card, and also only one type of Pokemon in any deck. So this does invalidate a few Pokemon, but pretty much all of them are runnable. We'll talk about it as we get there, but let's just hop into it. And can I sort by type? Yes, I can sort by type, so that's good. Although it does separate the evolution lines, I'll just sort by evolution chain. So Bombardier here is okay. It has a lightning weakness, fighting resistance, has a call for family attack, 120 for 3. So these are honestly very solid stats all around. Just think Bombardier is worth running. That being said, it's not like amazing. I'd say this is like fine. I'm trying to think if it would see play in dark decks. I'm not sure, honestly, but I don't hate it either, so it's fine. Next up, Bramble Gas. This is kind of interesting. Healing for this first deck is okay. 100 HP on a stage 1 is okay. 3 retreats, okay. 3 colorless, AD during your opponent's next turn. That attacks that the defending Pokemon uses cost 2 colorless or more. I mean, that's just not very good. I don't really see any use of this. It doesn't really have a clear goal here and isn't particularly good at anything. Honestly, this title here doing 30 and 10 to each your opponent's bench isn't bad by any means. And this one also heals. This is pretty solid for an evolving basic, but then this Titan here does 80, but if it has special energy, it does 140 more, so 220. That's honestly super good. I think this Titan will see play because of, like, it's kind of like a Whaler that exists. There are different Whalers to play, but it's kind of like one of them. It's just very strong and has high HP. I think this Titan's very strong and definitely deserves some play. Next up, we have a few new Sharkadettes, but nothing crazy. And then the Cerulet, which you can't really play because it evolves from a different type. It's very awkward to play, but it's bad anyways. Next up, we have Vespiquen here, but this doesn't really work. It says so you can do double stab, but that's kind of bad. Order a raid. Choose one of your bench Combi and shuffle that Pokemon and all cards. Attach it into your deck, and then does 120. But it's essentially impossible. You need to get the Vespiquen in play without evolving it regularly, so that's going to be pretty much impossible to use, unfortunately. And it's not that good all in all. I think there's some better Vespiquens as well. Toxicroak, although it does depend if you're playing standard or expanded GLC, of course, but yeah, this Toxicroak here, 60 in poison for 2, 130 HP. These are okay stats, but nothing like super impressive here. There's this Hydreigon, which has an ability that says you may look at the top 3 cards of your deck and attach any number of energies you find there, and then discard the other cards. This is kind of bad. Its stats all in all aren't bad though. I think this Hydreigon's like kind of okay. Especially if you're playing standard GLC, but I don't know. I don't think it's great. It might sneak us in a few decks because of its like solid stat line, but overall it's not great. And this Delibird, draw 2, it's fine, but it's still not great. Dunsparce is kind of interesting as a solid setup option, but you're probably always going to be running the weakness removing one. But then to Dunsparce, 100 for 4 in paralysis. That being said, and then hit and run. That being said, if I'm doing an attack for 4 energy on a stage 1, I think I'd almost always rather be getting the KO. So this isn't very good. I don't think it has much use. Next up, we have this Ice Cube. I think I have Show Not Owned. Yeah. This IQ here, 100 for 3 water on a basic. Discard all energy from this Pokemon during your opponent's next turn. Excuse me. This Pokemon takes 100 less damage from attacks. And so that's actually like a very solid, a nice wall. We've seen other good Ice Cubes as well, but I think this one's fine. It's kind of like a big energy commitment, but it's not bad either. This Phalanx is bad. Flamigo is bad. This Talonflame, you can't really use Talonflame. This one's not awful, but whatever. And then Talonflame because it evolves from a colorless fletchling. And then Frigibax, Arctibax, whatever. Baxcalibur, there was honestly Arctibax also having 90 HP is good. But Baxcalibur here is super cold, same ability as Blastoise, essentially Frostmoth. As often as you like during your turn, you may accelerate basic water energy from your hand to your Pokemon. absolutely insane. It's 160 HP, 130 damage. This is insane. A very solid, a very scary attacker to have to deal with. Honestly, Bex Caliber, in my opinion, is one of the best cards for GLC from this set. It's absolutely insane. Next up, we have some pre-evolutions, and then for Giraffe, it's a minor disruption, decent stats, but I don't think it's quite good enough to see play. Glimlet, which has a center to evolve. I think Glimora, though, here, 6 times poison, as well as when it's knocked out on a coin flip. Your opponent doesn't take any prizes. Honestly, this Glimora is very good. I think this will 100% see play in fighting-based decks. Super solid stat line, kind of annoying to deal with. I think this one is honestly just kind of amazing. It's not like broken. We've seen Gland Wheezing, though. It's kind of like that. I think this card's very good. This Gothitelle now. First of all, it's attack 120. Discard earn cards from your opponent's hand. 150 HP, okay stats. But then read the stars. Once during your turn, you may look at the top 2 cards of your opponent's deck, put one of them back, and put the other on the bottom. Nice disruption. That being said, I don't think this card's quite strong enough, but it's not awful. This Heracross. Okay stats. Not too much to say about it. Hoppip, but then Skip Bloom here on a coin flip is immune to damage from attacks. And does 30, the active 30 to the bench, so this is okay. There are actually some other amazing Skip Blooms as well, so this one's probably not good enough, but it's okay. Honestly, the Skip Bloom is good, but there are other better ones. The Jumpluff here, same ability where it's immune to damage on a coin flip, and Fluffy Breeze doing 60 and 30 snipe. I'd probably rather play the other Jumpluff, which attacks twice, but this one's not bad either. I honestly think this card's very solid and kind of worth running. It just depends which Jumpluff you want. The one that attacks twice is very solid. This one immune to damage on a coin flip is very solid, so it's up to you. This is Wigglytuff. Accelerates a therapeutic energy, but you only have one. It's not great. Tyranitar, you can't really play Tyranitar. I don't remember if they're fighting Pupitars. I don't think there are, but I mean, it's an okay attacker, but you can't really play it. Pyroar, 60 and 20 to this bench for colorless on the stage one's okay, but you know, nothing insane. Love Disc, search for supporters, put your opponent to sleep. Honestly, like a solid utility attacker, but I don't think it's just quite good enough here. This Gyarados actually is very solid. If you have more prizes remaining than your opponent, this does 180 damage. And then for 3, and then 200, and then 50 to itself for 4. Honestly, these stats are very insane. A bit awkward to use, but I think this Gyarados is 100% worth running. So I'm going to say this one's very good. Magnemite here. That's whatever. You know, it might be a Magnemite that you'd run from time to time. Hariyama boosting the damage, or saying all your Pokemon take 10 less damage from attacks. Oh, this is... I don't know if this is good enough. In some cases, it will help, but most cases it won't. It's only 10 damage. I don't despise this Hariyama, but I don't think it's quite good enough. Also 120 for 3, 140 HP, solid stats, but I'm not really sure. This Primeape's bad, but then we see Azumarill. This one's also bad. The Boss Stiff here. Okay, so it says during your opponent's next turn, so for 28 2 colors on stage 1, during your opponent's next turn, if this Pokemon is damaged by an attack, even if it's KO'd, put damage counters on the attacking Pokemon equal to the damage done to it. So it hits back for the same effect. This is okay. I don't know. It's okay, but you kind of want to pair it with healing. I don't know. There's also some other very solid boss stuffs. Mimikyu, this one's kind of bad. This Magius, when you evolve this, you move an energy from your opponent's active to one of their bench. Honestly, a solid psychic like disruption option if you're playing that. So I think this Magius is pretty solid. Of course, it's not a very good attacker at all, but it's okay. Honchkrow dealing 140 for 3 on a stage 1, not the worst. Garganacl is actually really interesting. During Pokemon Checkup, aka anytime you would be, say, poisoned or burned, heal 20 damage from each of your Pokemon. This is a solid chunk of healing. 130 for 2, and then discard the top card of your opponent's deck, 180 HP. These stats are solid as well. Honestly, I think this Garganacl is pretty solid. It's kind of sketchy to run, but I think it's worth it in sometimes. Now we have, let's see, I've lost where we are now. Okay, Nimble, when you, if you evolve this turn, you do 130 for 1. That's not bad at all. I think this low kick is solid. 70 for 2 is, Ragru here stops their opponent from using one of their attacks, but only 30 for 2 on a basic. That's not very good. Or Ikorio, though, once on your turn you may heal 20 from your active evolution. That's pretty solid. I don't know if it's ever going to be good enough, but I don't hate it, especially with Magma Basin. It's pretty cool. Now, Earthworm, if this Pokemon has 3 or more metal energy attached, it gets 100 extra HP, going up to 230 HP. Also, for 4 colorless, so 4 energy, 100, it does 30 to one of your opponent's bench Pokemon. That's okay. I like it. It's very big and tanky and very thick. But I don't know if it's... honestly, this one's pretty good. I think it's very tanky. We've seen stuff similar, like Wishy-Washy, that has energy to buff its HP. I think this Earthworm's solid. Paldea and Tauros, we got 3 of these that each have an attack that's 20, 10 more for each damage count on it. Then some other at secondary attack. They're all okay. This one does 130 and 30 to itself. Not bad, but not amazing. I don't think it's quite good enough. You're looking at stuff like Buzzwole over this, and probably other ones as well. Paldea and Tauros here, fire type. And then it discards energy. This one's okay as well. And then this Paldea and Tauros is water, does a 60 snipe. Yeah, I don't think this one's very good. Honestly, these 3 are all okay, but not great. Paldea and Wooper, not great. Passimian, again, not great. There are actually some very solid Passimians, and not this one's not it. Palmot here does 160 to your opponent's bench. This isn't awful. We've seen some other Palmots, so it competes, or another one that competes with that. But I think this Palmot's okay. And now we got a Raichu here. This one's not great. 200 for 3 on a stage. This one's not bad, but I think there are some better Raichus as well. I don't know. This one's okay. I'm not sure what to think about it. Pincurchin, nothing amazing here. Paralysis on a coin flip, and then you can do 100 for 1. This isn't an awful Pincurchin, but your opponent can like guess around it, so you can't really use follow-up Crisap. We see a Quaquaval, no, it's an EX. Rabaska actually gets any Pokemon from your discard pile onto your bench. That being said, it's really awkward to get into place because you can't evolve from the same type. Corviknight, of course, metal, different typing, so you can't really use this, but Accelerate, if you get a KO, you're immune to damage. This one's very good, but again, pretty much impossible to use. Sableye, this Sableye is actually good, though, dealing a 90 if your opponent's affected by a special condition. So this is very solid and very annoying to deal with the sleep from the first attack as well if you want to throw that in. It's an option from time to time, so I think this, there are various ways of doing special conditions, and there's a dark-based kind of special condition deck. I think this Sableye is very solid. Next up, we have this Palossand doing 160 if you have a Stadium in play. That's honestly very solid. I think this Palossand is like definitely worth running sometimes, especially with something like Reverse Energy, which we'll get to. Crosscut doing 100 to an evolution is okay. Shinx forcing your opponent to the bench if it's in the active. There's some better Shinx. Luxray, you can play it straight down if you're down on prizes. This is okay. Dealing 80 and then 20 to itself, or 180, 20 to itself, are very solid stats. Honestly, this Luxray is quite good. Excuse me. Grafaiai here discards as many basic energy as you like from your hand. This tax is 40 for each type of basic energy. I don't know. This is weird. You need to find some deck to use it. If you do, it's very good, but I think it's just not generally good enough. Slacking, 240 for 3, puts yourself to sleep. There's some better slackings. This is okay, but there are better options. Weavile, this Weavile is actually really good, although there are some other very good Weaviles as well. But during your turn, when this Pokemon moves from your bench to the active, you may switch in one of your opponent's bench basics. So it guesses the basic. When you switch in, I didn't realize it only guessed the basic, but that's still fine most of the time. You're okay doing that. You could then also use Slashing Claw to do 70 for a KO. Weavile is very solid. It's not amazing, but it's solid, especially with the various dark tools to retreat for free. Abomasnow, Pokemon can't be healed. Not great. Let's see. We got an EX, Sudowoodo. I don't know, it's immune to damage on a coin flip. That's okay. This mouse holds bad. Spidops, shuffle each player's active and all cards attached into their deck. Okay, Disruption. Tinkaton, this Tinkaton is actually very good, allowing you discard a card from your hand to draw 3 cards, and then 180 if you have a special energy on it. This is honestly a very solid Tinkaton. Yeah, this one's quite good, I think, but you know, it's kind of weird. Like, you know, it's not as good as Gardevoir, and Gardevoir is really good. The Gardevoir line with like Glade and stuff. So, you know, competing with that, and you need to decide there. And Tropius, this one's fine. We've seen tons like it. Veluza here, 120 for one on a basic if you have no cards in hand. But obviously that's kind of sketchy to do. This probably isn't good enough, but when it's good, it's amazing. So it's cool. I always see. That's not very impressive. No. Now we go to the last Pokemon here. Pelipper. Pelipper is honestly insane in its ability when you evolve into it. You have the search deck for supporter and play it, or you recover a support from your discard pile and play it. That's honestly insane. I think this Pelipper is really insane. It kind of functions as like a Versus Seeker or Tapu Lele. It's a really powerful effect. I think this is 100% going to see lots of play in colorless decks. As we move to the trainers, how can I sort this? Type. Yeah, there we go. So superior energy retrieval, getting a reprint. That's fine. Great Ball reprint. Fighting LA. Heal 60 if you're down on prizes. This is honestly okay, but it's only okay. Yeah, it might see some play. Super Odd reprint. Delivery drone on a double coin flip. You search check for any card. That's not great. Practice Studio buffing the damage of stage 1s by 10. I don't think this is usually good enough, but it's not awful either. Edge Zone's honestly insane, allowing you to search your deck for a basic and pop a star onto your bench. Of course, your opponent's also going to get tons of value out of it, so you need to decide if it's good enough for you. Something like Brooklet Hill or Stormy Mountains is always going to be better, because it usually only helps you, but if your deck can't play those, Edge Zone's good, so honestly, it's fine. Calamitous Wasteland, increasing virtue cost of basic non-fighting. It's okay. Calamitous Snowy Mountain. Whenever your player attaches an energy from the hand to a non-basic a basic non-water, put 2 damage counters. Again, it's okay. Now the supporters, Dendra, put a card from your hand on the bottom of your deck. If you do draw until you have 5 cards in hand, I probably don't. I don't think that's very good. It's kind of like Sightseer, and in some senses it's better than Sightseer, but still not great. Giacomo, discard a special energy from each of your opponent's Pokemon. This is okay, but I don't know. There are definitely better options in my opinion. And then Grusha here. Draw until you have 5 cards in hand if you have no energy in play. You draw until you have 7, but that's bad to have no energy in play, so I don't think this card's very good. And next up, Iono. Iono is absolutely insane. At just N, splash shuffles their hand, puts it on the bottom of their deck, and then draws a card for each prize remaining. This Iono is honestly like super insane. Yeah, it's 100% going to see play in every deck. Boss reprint, Seguero, heal 50 from 2 of your Pokemon. Not awful, honestly, but it's not amazing. Clayville, search your deck for up to 3 basic Pokemon with 120 HP or less, reveal them, put them into your hand, then shuffle your deck. Kind of like Bridget or Gloria, it'll honestly see some play. I don't hate it. Now, Faulkner, draw 2 if you have a stadium play, draw 2 more. It's okay. Choice Belt reprint. And then Bravely Charm, buffing your basic HP by 50. Honestly, this is insane. Now that you have this, you also have Cable Toughness and Fighting Fear Belt. You can very easily buff the HP of your basics. And it's so easy to do now. Last but not least, we have the special energies. Therapeutic energy recovers certain special conditions. Bad. New gold energy is bad. But jet energy, switch in when you attach it. Okay. And then luminous energy, providing any type of energy, but only one type. But only if you have one special energy attached, it's okay. But then reversal energy, honestly, one of the best cards in the set for anything. If it's attached to a single prizer, okay, anything. But as long as it's an evolution and you're down on prizes, it provides 3 of any type of energy. This card's honestly insane. It's going to see so much play. In my opinion, an inclusion in any deck, very good. Yeah. But honestly, there's not too much to say about GLC. Obviously, it's kind of dying, which is a bit unfortunate. I was hoping Live would add in some like support of it. P2G had like some amount of support, but not full support. Live has no support, essentially. I mean, not none, but very little. But at least you can still look at the cards. So, and it's a fun format to like look at, even though if it can get a bit tedious to play. But I hope you enjoyed the video. And as always, I'm excited to see you in the next one. See you.